Welcome to In Focus. My name is Bea, and with us tonight we have Dave Burnett. He is a senior environmental engineer, and he is the president of the Outing Club. Welcome, Dave.
Thank you.
Can you tell us what the Outing Club is?
All right, so the UConn Outing Club is the university's oldest and largest student group, founded in 1885 and has over 400 members currently. So we do anything and everything outdoors, from rock climbing to ice climbing, caving, backcountry skiing, hiking, whitewater rafting, you name it, we do it. It's fantastic because you could pay only $20. That gets you access to all of our club run trips, most of which are no additional cost except gas to your driver, which is only fair. And then access to our over $80,000 in club-owned gear. So if you want to go hiking, you don't have a good backpack, we have dozens of them and can hook you up with whatever you possibly need.
That sounds fantastic. Now, can you tell us what kind of trips you've gone on this semester and what you have planned for next semester?
So our two biggest trips that we had this past semester, what we call the UConn Outing Club opening weekend and also our Mount Washington hike. Opening weekend, we took 70 people camping in upstate New York, took care of all the carpools, all the food, all the gear, anything that you would need. And then during the day, we did beginner to intermediate hiking, caving, and rock climbing trips. And then at night had a nice big bonfire. So it was a great way at the beginning of September to really get out there and meet a lot of people. And then the other big trip that we did was in early October, hike up Mount Washington. Took 55 people this year up the mountain. At the top it was about a quarter-mile visibility and 65-mile-an-hour winds, but everyone made it. And everyone had a lot of fun as well.
Very nice. Now, how did you specifically get involved? I hear it's a fantastic story.
Well, so I came in my freshman year looking to meet people, as most freshmen do, and I figured, maybe I'll join a club. So I went to the activity fair, wandering around, found the Outing Club, and thought, I like doing things outdoors. Maybe I'll make some friends that'll do that, maybe even a nice lady friend who feels the same. So I signed up for the Outing Club, went to a few of their meetings, and signed up for that early October trip up Mount Washington. Not knowing what I'd get myself into. Flash forward to Friday night when we're supposed to camp. It's 12:30, pouring rain. Every single one of our tents flooded, so we're all huddled under the tarp wondering what we're going to do. My family has a small duplex condo about a half an hour away from where we were camping, so I call my dad after midnight. Dad, can we please go to the house? Probably in stage 2 hypothermia at the time. He says yes, and we packed 45 people into my condo that has probably never seen more than 8 people before. My biggest concern was the floor was going to collapse, but everyone found a place to sleep, whether it was in a closet, bathroom, everywhere, the kitchen. It was insane. But the next day we hiked the mountain. About half the group did make it to the top, even in some really bad weather conditions. And through that, everyone kind of figured out who I was. And about a month and a half later, they did make me president, November of my freshman year. So it was quite the experience, to say the least.
Yeah, that sounds super interesting. Now, is this open to anyone, freshman to senior year, and is it open to any type of beginner? Or I know you already liked going on these trips prior to college, but what if it's someone that has never gone on these trips? Is it still open to them?
So the greatest part about our club is that literally anyone can join, whether you're a freshman looking to make a ton of new friends or a senior, and you're just looking to do things outdoors. And there are trips going on every single weekend from beginner to expert. And even if you don't like the trips that the club happens to be running, you can run your own trip even. So every meeting, the club will say what trips they have planned. So I'll stand up and say, hey, I'm looking to go backpacking this weekend. It's not for beginners. I'd prefer it if you've been backpacking before. And then another officer will stand up and say, hey, I'm going to go on a 3-hour hike in the Yukon forest. Everyone is welcome. It's going to be Thursday at 9 o'clock. We'll go out there and walk around for a couple hours at night with some headlamps. And then from that, you can sign up for whatever trips you want. There's beginner to expert, everything. So all ability levels are welcome. And if you don't like our trips, at the end of every single meeting, we stand up and say, does anybody want to lead a trip of their own? So any member can stand up and say, hey, I want to go rock climbing on Saturday. I know how to set up ropes, so who wants to come? We'll make a sign-up sheet for you. Hopefully you'll get someone who has a car going, and then you can make your own trip happen as well. And we'll support you 100%, whether it be through gear, through planning, whatever you need, even if it's a camping fee or an access pass. We can pay for that as well.
Okay, so you cover all expenses. You had also mentioned food and everything. Is that only for the big events?
For the big events, we will cover the food. For most of the trips, all you have to pay for is gas to your driver and then food, your own personal food, which is pretty fair.
Okay, and how can someone get involved? Like, do they just show up to the meeting, or is there a procedure they have to follow?
So we highly encourage as many people joining as possible. We are UConn's largest and oldest student group. Our meetings are at 9 o'clock on Wednesdays in TLS 154. If you're looking to get really involved, we have our board meetings at 8 o'clock in that same room. Anyone is welcome, and that's when we'll go over what our biggest trips are coming up, what needs to be planned, as well as funding with the university. That's a huge component of our club so that we can have our own gear for the club to use. So if you're looking to get involved, that's the best way to do it. And also just leading trips. By leading trips, not only will you make a ton of new friends, you'll also get recognized within the club. People will know who you are, and then they're more likely to sign up for your trips. I'm a senior, and then our secretary is also a senior, so both of us are going to have to be replaced come mid-March. So there are some positions open higher up in the club if you're looking for a great experience, to make new friends, and also to get a real resume booster being the largest club on campus.
Very nice. And now, do you have a number of how many trips you've gone on, or haven't?
Number of trips that I've gone on. Oh, wow. Since freshman year, I've been everything from a 2-hour hike in the UConn forest to a week-long caving trip in West Virginia.
Wow.
I've been across the board, so I would probably say 30 or 40 easily.
Very
Easily,
nice.
at least. You know, we have our weekly hikes. We try and do a night hike every Thursday night in the UConn forest. Just a great chance to go out, meet some new friends, walk around in the woods, maybe start a little campfire. And then, but we have those bigger trips as well with the week-long caving trips to West Virginia. So
Perfect.
across the board, I've been on a lot of trips.
Very nice. All right, well, thank you for coming tonight, and thank you for tuning in.